How's it going, gamers, and welcome to the channel. Today I want to kind of do a quick gameplay video on the Nintendo Switch on the game Control. It was announced earlier this morning on a little mini Nintendo Direct that Control, the cloud version, was coming to the Switch along with Hitman. So let's get into this demo because the demo hit today on the eShop. And I call it a demo because it's free to download and you can try it yourself. And I believe they're releasing this demo for the consumers, the gamers, to kind of stress test the cloud offering. So it lets you play a couple of minutes of the game, and you have an option to play it in either performance mode or graphical mode. So let's boot up the game here. And because it's a cloud offering, the Control game is running most likely on a very high-end PC. I believe that if you set up the graphical mode, you should be able to get some ray tracing reflections off of this. But yeah, let's get into the title screen here, and it states the standard warning, and we'll go ahead and read through that. But we're going to click OK. And you can tell that it's simulating a mouse because of the way the cursor is showing on screen. So definitely on a very high-end PC in their server farm, right? So you get to do a demo trial in either enhanced performance or enhanced graphics. So for this gameplay, we're just going to run it in enhanced graphics. So I'm assuming the game is going to be locked at 30 frames, but you're going to get the visual fidelity of a high-end PC. So I'm going to look around the gameplay to kind of measure like the lighting, the reflections, and see how it really operates. And this is my first time booting it up for the first time, so I've had experience with xCloud, and xCloud is very responsive. So let's see what this plays on the Switch. And if you guys know, Nintendo did experiment with cloud gaming with Resident Evil in Japan. So it's going to be interesting to see in the U.S. market or other markets outside of Japan how well this operates. So I'll have to look into more in terms of what cloud services they're using for this particular game. But I believe it kind of flashed really quickly when you started up the demo. So I'm going to research a little bit more into the cloud infrastructure and what it is. But I'm going to go into the options, and because you're streaming this via the cloud, these are settings that you would normally get on the PC minus the resolution and the visual fidelity. So they did lock some things out, but other than that, going into a new game, adjusting the brightness, I mean, these are very common controls on the PC version of Control, no pun intended, for the game. So let's go ahead and adjust the brightness here on my screen. So I'm capturing this on my card, but I'm also playing it on my 4K TV here that my Switch is hooked up to. So I am playing in docked. I don't have a way to capture undock mode, but this is in docked. And let's start the game. I'm assuming loading should be fairly quickly. Yeah.
Fair warning. This is gonna be weirder than usual. Can't be helped.
Okay, it's going through the cutscenes.
You called me. So here I am.
And so far the visuals, it's the bit rate's a little bit low, I can tell, just looking at it right now. Or it could be, I don't believe this is gameplay yet. This looks like it's full motion video cutscene.
I get my hopes up so many times.
I am noticing a slight stutter. I don't know how well it's going to show up on the capture card, but visually looking at it on my TV or here, I can see a very slight, subtle stutter. My Switch is on my Wi-Fi connection, so I have Google Wi-Fi. It's connected on 5.8. So just a disclaimer here that we're streaming this via cloud over Wi-Fi, not a hardwired connection to the Switch.
The picture's something nice. A landscape, a famous
The audio is coming through really clear. Again, the visuals
What is it called?
are starting to
Prison
improve.
movie.
The bitrate looks like it's improving now.
The room's a cell, and the picture, it's different for each of us. It can be beautiful or terrible, but we're all transfixed. But it's all a lie. There's a hole hidden behind that poster that leads to the real world. We all feel safe in that room.
So it should be like a smooth transition between the video cutscene into real-time gameplay.
And the ones that see it happen freak out and try to forget what they saw.
Now, you know, the color palette in Control is pretty muted. It's not going to be a game where you're going to see a lot of bright colors.
Why did you
But already it looks like it's transitioning into gameplay right now. And there we go. Okay, a little bit of stuttering, but
Yeah.
let me look at the controls.
But what is it?
Very responsive.
Feel it.
I'm not feeling any lag in controls right now.
Things you show
On
me
just the
is
movement and the camera angles. You can see the reflections here.
there's
I'm
no
moving
way.
around
Right.
trying to see what the reflections look like on the floor. And it's not too bad.
Where's everybody?
So far, I'm
Someone
feeling
going
like
in the right direction.
I am controlling the character. It doesn't feel like, you know, floaty or anything like that. Moving the camera around. Yeah, so far so good. Looks pretty responsive from a controller standpoint. Move around here. I am noticing, like I said, a little bit of a jitter or some stuttering, but it is kind of ironing itself out as we get along here, where it's becoming a little bit more smoother on my TV screen. And again, we're playing in enhanced graphical mode, so it's really going to push whatever the reflections. This almost looks like ray tracing. I'm not sure, but the reflections are pretty impressive.
All these years I've been looking for them, and they were hiding in plain sight.
Walk through here and around. There should be a janitor right around here with a cutscene.
Hello?
Yep.
Hey, excuse me.
There you are. You are here about the job.
Yeah, so far I'm pretty impressed right now with the streaming right now. Like I said, I've played a lot of xCloud, and I know Microsoft's doing a really good job with their xCloud streaming on Game Pass. But this is actually really good for, and I'm pretty sure Nintendo's not running the cloud service. This is IO Interactive, and just to show you guys that I'm running the cloud version that's on the Switch, so people don't think I'm swapping it out with any other video footage. You can tell that this is the cloud version here. Let's walk around. Before we hit down the elevator, let's just explore. I mean, there's collision there with the environment. Let's walk back down and re-explore the environment just a little bit. I'm just more curious of just looking at the visual fidelity around the game, the illumination.
I saw it a long time ago.
I mean, this is, you know, if Nintendo can make this affordable, and that's the key here, affordable. I mean, cloud gaming, people can, you know, talk negatively about cloud gaming. Not a lot of people have the bandwidth to handle cloud gaming, but you know, the technology is getting better and better, and I think the future of cloud gaming is very promising. Like I said, I'm very impressed with what Microsoft has built up with xCloud, and I think what Nintendo now looks like they're exploring this is, you know, it is going to be the future, you know, with a lot of these games. And even Sony, I mean, PlayStation Now, that's a cloud streaming service, you know. Sony bought Akamai, which had the cloud infrastructure in play, and they ended up using that technology that Akamai had for building up cloud streaming into PlayStation Now, right? So, I mean, Akamai is no longer around, but I mean, Sony, you know, acquired them for a reason, to really invest into cloud gaming. And I think the last console maker to invest now is Nintendo. You know, we all know what Microsoft's going to bring to the table. We all know Sony's PlayStation Now is pretty robust. I mean, that's how they're handling a lot of their backwards compatibility due to the the different architectures of the PlayStation 1, 2, and 3 before they started standardizing on x86 with the PlayStation 4 and moving forward. And I have a feeling, Microsoft's doing the same thing. They had different iterations, but at least they invested into porting or emulating like the Xbox One and the 360 architecture onto the Xbox One. Yeah. So the original Xbox One. Yeah. So, but yeah, so far I'm moving around. Again, I'm pretty impressed. I don't know what the resolution they're streaming at. I'm assuming it's going to be low resolution. And with cloud gaming, I mean, if you think about it, xCloud streams at 720p. This on handheld, which is going to be interesting, is going to be locked at 720p. But for dock, I'm wondering if they're going with a 900p or 1080p streaming. It could be 720p as well, because I am not seeing the sharpness that you would see with a high resolution. But man, the visual effects, like the shadowing, the lighting, the reflections, it's definitely there from a PC level standpoint, right? Just not the resolution, but yeah, overall, I think the one thing about Nintendo is that their system is a little bit underpowered, right? Because it's a mobile processor. So cloud gaming could be something important for them to really leverage to get some of these AAA titles, especially the ones that are going to be coming to the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5, right? And then high-end PCs. So if these third parties are already invested into cloud infrastructure and cloud streaming, why not open up the Switch's ecosystem to do so? And because you're seeing this now being brought to the US with Control and then eventually with Hitman, I'm wondering if it's my personal opinion that Nintendo's next generation Switch is going to be a big leap and bounds ahead of what's available now with the Tegra X1 that Nvidia has in the Switch. So with all the talks of revisions coming out in 2021, I'm still leaning towards a very minor revision, better LCD for lower power, other things that they might do. They might unlock 4K streaming for media streaming, but other than that, I think cloud gaming can fill that void for them as they take on PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X, right? So, and it looks like the demo ends right here. So, yeah, very short demo, guys. Looks like it's just going through a little bit of the beginning of the game. Just to, again, I believe because this is free, we're just stress testing the networks for IO Interactive and Nintendo on this. So, yeah, guys, let me know what you think. I hope you, if you like this, go ahead and hit the like. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe. I go and talk about gaming news, and I throw in a lot of things related to gaming. So I hope you guys enjoyed the gameplay walkthrough of Control Cloud version for the Switch, and I will see you guys later. Take care.